The Vraxian Empire had ruled the Orion Arm for 3,000 cycles. Their ships were legendary, their weapons unmatched, their dominion absolute. But there was one story that still made even the most battle-hardened Vraxian commanders feel a chill in their spine ridges, the legend of the indomitable, humanity's lost supercarrier. Django stood on the bridge of the salvage vessel Horizon's Edge, his calloused hands gripping the railing as the sensors painted an impossible picture. The derelict floating before them was massive, 5 kilometers of twisted metal and darkened, hull plating, drifting in the Scar Nebula like a sleeping titan. "That's it," whispered Ava, the ship's lead xenoarchaeologist. Her green eyes reflected the holographic display, wide with disbelief. "That's the Indomitable, the last guard." Django nodded slowly. Every human child knew the story. 300 years ago, during the First Contact War, the Indomitable and her crew of 12,000 had made a final stand against the Vraxian invasion fleet at the Battle of Kepler's Gate. Outnumbered 100 to 1, the Supercarrier had fought with such ferocity that the Vraxian fleets were forced to retreat. But the Indomitable had vanished in a gravitational anomaly, lost to the void. Until now. "We need to board her," Ava said, her voice trembling with excitement and reverence. "Django, do you understand what this means? The technology alone could change everything. The Vraxians have kept us under their thumb for centuries. This ship could level the playing field." Django's jaw tightened. He was a practical man, a former Earth Defense Force engineer who'd seen too many friends die under Vraxian occupation. "If the Empire finds out we're here, we're dead. They've been searching for this ship longer than we have. Then we work fast." Within the hour, Django and Ava led a small team through the emergency airlock. The interior of the Indomitable was a tomb, corridors frozen in time, personal effects floating in zero gravity, and everywhere the silent testimony of humanity's desperate last stand. Ava's hand brushed against a bulkhead scorched by plasma fire. "They fought to the last breath," she murmured. Django didn't respond. He was already working on the auxiliary power systems, his fingers dancing across the ancient interface. The Indomitable had been built during humanity's golden age of warfare, before the subjugation. Every system was designed with redundancy, resilience, and devastating firepower in mind. "Power's coming back online," he announced. "Backup reactors are still good. These old engineers knew what they were doing." As lights flickered to life throughout the massive ship, something else awakened. The main bridge terminal blazed with sudden luminescence, and a holographic figure materialized. A weathered human admiral in a tattered uniform, his eyes burning with determination, even in digital form. "If you're seeing this," the admiral's recording began, "then humanity still survives. I am Admiral Chen, last commander of the Indomitable. We knew we wouldn't make it out of Kepler's Gate, but we made damn sure the Vraxians would remember us." The admiral's image gestured to the ship around him. This carrier and her AI were designed for one purpose: to be humanity's sword and shield. "The Vraxians think they broke us. Show them they were wrong." The recording faded, but something else remained, a presence that felt alive. "Systems online," a synthetic voice announced. "Ship AI designation, Valkyrie, awaiting orders." Ava and Django exchanged glances. The ship's artificial intelligence, the most advanced combat AI ever created by human hands, was still functional. "Valkyrie," Django said carefully. "What's your status?" "All weapons systems. Operational. Fighter complement. 2,147 drones, ready for deployment. Shield generators. Charging. Main cannons. Online." "I have been waiting a long time to finish this fight." That's when the proximity alarms screamed. 6 Vraxian warships dropped out of hyperspace, their hulls decorated with the 3-clawed insignia of the Imperial fleet. They'd tracked the Horizon's Edge. "They found us," Ava breathed. Django's face hardened. He looked at the holographic tactical display, then at Ava. 3 centuries of oppression, of humanity reduced to second-class citizens in their own galaxy, of friends lost and freedoms stolen. It all crystallized into this moment. "Valkyrie," he said, his voice steady, "can you fight?" "I was born to fight, Captain. Give the order." Django took a breath. He wasn't a captain. He was just a salvage engineer who'd stumbled onto humanity's greatest weapon. But as he looked at the Vraxian ships closing in at Ava's determined face, at the holographic ghosts of 12,000 souls who'd sacrificed everything, he knew what had to be done. "Battle stations," Django commanded. "Show them what humanity is made of." The Indomitable came alive. 300 years of dormant rage awakened in an instant. The Supercarrier's engines ignited with blue-white fury, accelerating the massive vessel with impossible grace. Point defense cannons tracked and eliminated incoming missiles. Fighter drones exploded from launch bays like angry hornets, swarming the Vraxian vessels. The main cannons, railguns capable of punching through planetary shields, spoke with thunderous authority. The lead Vraxian warship simply ceased to exist, vaporized in a microsecond. Aboard the remaining Vraxian ships, commanders who'd grown comfortable in their empire's dominance suddenly remembered why their ancestors had feared the humans. The Tau tactical displays painted an impossible picture. One human ship, a relic from an ancient war, was systematically destroying their fleet. "Transmitting on all frequencies," Valkyrie announced. "Message as follows. This is the human supercarrier Indomitable. We have returned. Tell your empire that humanity remembers. Tell them we are coming." One by one, the Vraxian ships fell. Ava stood beside Django on the bridge, tears streaming down her face as she watched 3 centuries of defeat transform into defiance. Django's hand found hers, squeezing tight. "This changes everything," she whispered. Django nodded, his eyes on the stars ahead. The Indomitable had risen again, and with it, humanity's hope. The Vraxian Empire had ruled for 3,000 cycles. That reign would not see a 3,001st. Humanity had been dormant, but never broken. And now, the galaxy would remember why humans had once been feared, not for their cruelty, but for their refusal to ever surrender. The Indomitable turned toward human space, its weapons hot, its AI singing ancient war songs, and its crew of 2 ready to reignite the spark of resistance. Every alien in the Orion Arm would soon learn a fundamental truth. You could beat humanity down. You could occupy their worlds. You could force them into submission. But you could never ever make them quit. The Supercarrier's engines flared brighter, and Django allowed himself a grim smile. "Let's go wake up the rest of humanity," he said. Ava squeezed his hand back. "Let's go home." The end.